Hey guys, welcome to episode 8. Wow. Here we go. Welcome to episode. Oh my god. Oh, what is happening back here? Welcome to episode 8 of Tez Talks. There we go. Season. Oh wow, this fits in quite well, doesn't it? Gorgeous. It's beautiful. Episode 8. Series 2, Cassandra's laughing at me over here. She's our manager of YZR, and she bought me up an outfit because I was in my pajamas, and this is the one she picked out for me. Thanks, Cass. So I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying your questions. They're so good. I like having guidance in my Tez Talks. Otherwise, I just ramble on forever. So it's really awesome. And thank you so much. So let's start. Yeah, good question. Well, you need to stay present. Just kidding. Well, what you have to do is, if you're trying to not make it about anyone else, which is very important, you have to figure out what it is that feeds your soul. What is it? I like writing a list. So I recently have decided that I'm really big into pottery. Love pottery, don't know where that came from, and I love it. I love pottery, I love baths, I love reading spiritual books, I love coming into my special spot over here, my Zen Den, and working on consciousness and reading more and learning, and I'm like absorbing things like I'm a sponge, and I love that, and that's where I find my happiness. Also, I know we said not in external things, but Bodhi, it's not about Bodhi, but the ways in which I get to interact with him and the choices I make in terms of going on play dates and various things, like that feeds my soul. I know I specifically love doing Mama and Bodhi time, and that really feels like me. So what is it that you're passionate about? Is there a few things? Is there one thing, two things? Do you not know what it is you're passionate about? The way to find that out is try a bunch of different stuff. Like I have a guitar sitting over there in the corner, and I was like, I'm going to start playing guitar. Started playing it. I was like, I'm not so passionate about this. It's not really the thing that I'm really excited about. We have a piano in the house. It's like, I'm going to start playing piano. I started doing it. I was like, piano. I prefer piano than I do guitar. So that's something that I'm feeling really passionate about right now, is learning the piano. But I'm trying things, and sometimes they're not going to be the right fit. This guitar over here is sitting in the corner collecting dust. I thought maybe I would like start doing guitar and like being a songwriter, and it's not my thing. But at least I tried it. So it's all about doing you. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you're a mama, how do you do you? And is that going to the gym? Some people, I know for my husband, it's CrossFit. CrossFit is his thing. That is everything that makes him happy. He loves CrossFit. He loves eating his vegan burgers, and that's what he does for him. So for me, it is sitting in this room, reading my books, listening to my podcast. I also have a podcast, which is going to sound very un-Zen of me, but it's something that I love doing. True crime. So I'm really into true crime. So I get really happy when I have a moment. I can't listen to obviously true crime podcasts in the car when my children are in the car, but when Bodhi's asleep or I'm driving in the car on my own, I'm going to listen to my Sword and Scale true crime podcast, and I'm going to really enjoy it. And that's some me time. So that's how I source happiness internally, because I'm serving what feeds me. You have to do that on a daily basis. It's absolutely integral. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's my tip, is find out what it is that makes you tick. What is that? And I also love the idea that, if to take it a step further, if you find something that you love and you somehow can make that your life's work, meaning you can live on that passion, somehow monetizing that passion, that is an amazing way to live too. They call it conscious business, or I guess that would be, in my case, eventually if I wanted to stop acting, I could go into business using some of the stuff that I have been taught, self-taught over the years, conscious living and mindfulness, and that would be a path I would go down if I ever got sick of acting. So if let's say you are an amazing artist and you love doing art, how do you get to do art all the time and do you, and then also make a living out of that too? I think that is a really exciting area that people are starting to explore now, is, well, how do I make my passion a part of my career? How do I do that? And then it doesn't feel like we're working. It feels like we just are getting to do us, and we happen to be getting paid to do something that we love. So I think that's amazing too. And then obviously sourcing happiness from being healthy in ourselves is wonderful too. Eating healthy, exercising, indulging healthily when we want to is also really important too for well-being. So all those things are important. And yeah, I again recommend writing it down first and going down the list and saying, all right, how am I going to work on this today? How am I going to incorporate this into my life today? And then it's not about anything else external. It's about you doing you. I keep going back to this because it's what works for me. I think everyone has their own thing. I love, firstly, having like-minded people in my life who are into exploring spirituality deeper, into evolving, and so my closest friends are really big into that. So that's a topic of conversation we're constantly having, is, and what, how do you feel about that, and how do you go deeper with that? What was your gift? Like, what did you do when you had to lean into that dark place? Like, let's discuss, what did you learn? Something I've been talking with my friends a lot lately is, how do we constantly live in a state of mindfulness and conscious living, but then ground that into the everyday business of life, the paying the bills, the doing the chores, doing the domestic duties, running the errands, living our life, all the things that we have to do that society says, all right, well, to live in society you have to do all of these things. So how do you do all of these things but also maintain this state of being our most enlightened selves? I mean, I find that challenging, because just sitting in traffic, you want to be Wah! But then I'm constantly having to remind myself to go back to a conscious place. So I think having people in your tribe who can be a sounding board, who are navigating through all the same things and have very similar ideas about their own spiritual journey, is really helpful. Then the books. I cannot recommend books more. Once you read a book that you love, start to research into other like-minded authors. I keep going back to Blinkist, the app. By the way, I have zero affiliation with them. I just have become obsessed with it, so that's why I keep talking about it. But that's a good one because it'll give you recommendations based on the ones you've already downloaded. So, any of the Eckhart Tolle stuff that I've downloaded, it'll be well, if you like Eckhart Tolle, you should check out this, the 7 Spiritual Laws by Deepak Chopra, or whatever it is. So that one has been really helpful for me. And that's just a practical tool that helps you explore and learn more and just go deeper. And then it was a Zen space too, I think you're asking about. I this is my Zen den. I guess I could probably show you some of it. But so it's just a bed on the ground, and then there's the guitar that's just like collecting dust. And then there's like a little thing here, and I've got like things from all different kinds of religions and crystals, and then it's just like this wooden, look at this like beautiful wooden, there's a closet there, some baby stuff, really simple room with not a lot of stuff in it. So I think it's called Marie Kondo. Yeah, Marie Kondo, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Okay, so the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. She was amazing when creating my space because I wanted some inspirational like crystals and like a Buddha and a cross and various things, and have my salt candle over there. And she talks about like taking each piece that you have and holding it and asking, like, does this bring me happiness? And then letting it go. If the immediate answer isn't yes, letting it go. Even if you think, oh, well, one day I'm going to wear that, or one day I'm going to use that. It's just a wonderful way of like getting rid of stuff. And I think the less clutter you have, the more you can find a Zen space. And then your mind feels decluttered and it's just like a peaceful environment. So I think that is it. There was one last question, but I think I'm going to have to bounce it over to next week because we're almost at time. So I will see you guys again next week. Thanks again for all the questions. Okay, bye.